Hello and welcome to another episode of On the Lookout. No, it's not. It's the card show. I don't know what I'm talking about there. I like I'm not on the lookout for a long time, so I don't know why I said that. That didn't deafen too many people. Clear my throat. Take off my coat. Clear my throat. Another episode yet of the card show. I feel like because I did the other one so early last week, and this one is live and direct on the 15th of the 12th because I was a bit late due to other commitments I had on over the last few days. And I'm kind of glad I waited because well, it has been mainly for the UK scene, but it's also kind of alarming for the hobby in general. The what do you call it? The indiscretions? What do you call this? The backhanded deals, the fraud, the conniving. I don't know. There's all them words, all them big bad words you can think of. I think we talked on about this and talked about this through other pods. The whole backdoor in a product, the whole this, that, the other, and how it's such a dirty game. Um, you know, it's interesting now that obviously for me it was more hearsay and maybe a bit of like intuition, maybe a bit of sense as well. Whereas now it seems to be. I mean, if you're not following, this is talking about the hobby box. Luke is obviously now bringing receipts. I'm not well. To be fair, he's put a few screenshots up. Yeah, bringing receipts. He's not brought as much as I thought he would do, but maybe he's just starting out. Hobby box Luke, if you're not following him, he did host the UK card show at Tottenham Hotspur show. He used to be a breaker. It still runs the hobby box. I think he's getting back into a bit of breaking. What else did he do? There was something else I can't remember. But now he's finally. I think he's going to do some content. He's finally doing a lot more, and he's sort of clearing out his closet, so to speak. There's a lot of skeletons in there. A lot of people who have done some very questionable things. We talked about the 101s and had them being handed out. We thought this again we should talk about. It was very interesting how they kept going to sort of tops account people and inside the other. But yeah, it's an interesting listen. If you've not heard it, you head over to Hobbox Luke. He's kept him on his posts. He's done a few lives. As of today, he said he's not doing anymore. He's playing golf, so maybe tomorrow for the next updates and next few people he's taking shots at. There's been a few people he's mentioned I've had conversations with over the years, and it's interesting because obviously coming from my point of view, these people, I've always got on with them. Never had a problem with. I think Jonathan Marsh, I think he's one of the guys you mentioned. Whereas I've always got on well with him, and there was someone else I can't remember who was all right. That's the other person. Just kind of lead me down the garden path a little bit with certain filming of a scenario and a payment, but whatever. But other than that, they're nice enough people, and then you hear what's going on with sort of the manager of Fanatics in London, sort of backdooring products and starting his own eBay for roughly double, triple the price. Did he have a collection like all 91s out of like 99s, whatever? Yeah, it's just crazy. And I think that, I don't want to bore you down with all the details. Go and listen to Hobbox Luke on that side of things. It's more of a frightening case of like what this hobby is becoming, especially in the UK. We are experiencing like a different kind of heat, right? Let me just turn this. There we go. That's better, I think. I'll have a look. Real. So don't like AI generated now, I don't think. There we go. Yeah, we're experiencing a very weird sort of period. I think when we were on this like up and up, the London Card Show, it's just sort of taking off, maybe like the London Card Show 3, 4 sort of area. And the tops got a bit more involved and other card shows popped up do with this sort of thing, like a bit of a rise. But I don't think the big companies were really like thought we were going to do much, like they're like interested. But now we look at 2025, the shops have the shop they've got in London, they're the pop shop first. Now the shop that actually got Fanatics, and the money they're putting into the London Card Show and other shows, the other shops that popped up, other card shows that popped up. I think they're realizing now this is a big opportunity to sort of in a weird way, sort of schooled us different in a weird way, right? Because you have such a framework in America that's been embedded in for so long, and this was the whole thing with the national, right? It was all like the old guards, and Fanatics Fest came along. It was all fresh, new, different concept. I think the national sort of reacted to that of changing things up a little bit. Obviously, brought in Calculator 2 and some other people to help freshen up a little bit. Um, so yeah, I think obviously Fanatics are proper stamping their authority on the hobby, especially in the UK, Europe. You'll see it, especially Germany when PSA opens, so they'll be pushing stuff there. You know, no doubt there'll be a Fanatics store going over there soon. Is it Japan? Yeah, I mean, I don't know how Japan works for like Australia and them sort of places, but for sending stuff over, I assume it's quite easy. But yeah, it's definitely a ever changing landscape of the sports cars and sort of the TCG hobby, I suppose. It's, you know, Topps do a little bit of that sort of stuff. There's like rumors of a Pokemon Topps, only something like that. You know, and that kind of leads on to the whole Pokemon PSA scenario. If you don't know this story, someone obviously sent in some cards. I forget how many there was. There's, you know, a fair few. A lot of them came back nines. So they took the PSA offers. The person then checked up on the card. I don't know if they checked the certs or whatever, and they discontinued, whatever. And it turned out all these cards then to become tens, which is interesting. Now, I think Nat Turner's come out and said it was like a weird, like one of those really weird scenarios where they were graded, it pops, the offers were there. Obviously, it's not a PSA offer. Apparently, it's like an offer from people, which is interesting because obviously I've never seen like that. But I don't really go on PSA accounts, but it's never like an option to just like randomly offer on a card. Like, oh, for PSA 9, you know, Mahomes Optic Color comes up, I'll an offer of $600, for instance. But maybe I've just not delved deep enough into that sort of stuff. But yeah, the yeah, the chat says that the offers come in, and then the cards were sort of flagged for a recheck. So they rechecked the cards. Um, I think the downside to all this, like, it obviously looks really bad. The massive downside is that flaw, right? I think if that had been a scenario, I think if they'd been flagged, they shouldn't have let it pop. Like, if they'd been flagged for maybe a regrade, rechecking, maybe it was like an intern or apprentice. I don't know. God knows why they went for that scenario anyway. Um, then yeah, don't pop the grade and make off. Let the person send in those offers. Or if you know, if it's a case of they popped fine, just let them know. Then just by pure luck, because this seems to be the first case of this as well. So it's like it could just be a case of pure luck. Someone looked over them, and gone, "Hey, I think we should recheck these ones." Um, I think then if that's the case, it's popped to the eyes, get accepted to the seller just by pure luck. Someone looked over them again and said, "Hey, I think we should check them," and someone come back at 10. I think then they should cancel the transaction slash speak to the person who sent them in first and say, "Hey, we've actually double checked these just by pure luck. You know, we looked over and thought, hey, these look pretty gemmy, and yeah, some of them have come back at 10 now. What would you like to do now? Do you want to proceed with a different offer? Would you like to have them sent to you? Would you like to keep in the vault?" But yeah, it's kind of a weird scenario. I think it puts a lot of people like not trusting PSA. Um, you know, I mean, I think since then we've seen that's why I personally have seen so many posts from other companies now, you know, showing the differences between PSA and them. You know, it's like PSA, you send your car this price, ours is a little bit cheaper. You know, your car's worth this much, you get upcharged this much. This place no upcharge, and it's, you know, PSA is 5 months on a basic. Where is it 4 months? So on a basic charge. Ours is 20 odd days. Um, and I think this is really good in some respects for the hobby because I said it before on other pods. I'll be talking about it on the Elite Card Investor pods. The whole being first in the market, and obviously the whole value of being first in the market, as opposed to maybe being with everyone else or a little bit after the first few people. but it being a PSA 10, as opposed to it being first in the market, being SGC 95, SGC 10, SGC 9, AGS, MGC, ACE, so maybe that has a quicker turnaround of cards. Because obviously you will get a little less value for that, just because people want the PSA, people want the PSA 10, more importantly. Um, but you sort of being the first, so if you can get a card, get it graded, and get it on the market within 2 weeks, and there's no comps for for this card, all of a sudden you are setting a comp and a precedent, right? If it goes for 400, then all of a sudden people then have to come to a decision of, okay, what's it worth? And I was like, is there going to be any? Then it could impact that card having a value as well. So could this person, more obviously more than a Pokemon or a TCG, could this person have a performance dip? Could they come into the news for bad reasons? Obviously, a lot less likely if it is a Pokemon TCG, that sort of scenario happens. Um, but it's not as fast Pokemon market as in like products getting pumped out. So it's not like you need to have it graded on the it up for sale that like in a month because the latest product comes out and everyone's more interested as well, which is another plus to the sort of Pokemon TCG sort of side. But yeah, in the sports world, that means products getting pumped out, and obviously the players getting injured or how this, that, the other. Timing is of the essence in a lot of sort of instances. So it's very interesting to see what's going to happen. I think we will see, especially on the Pokemon TCG side. I think the Pokemon community is quite I'll say it's quite a tight knit, strong community. And I think if they do want to boycott, I mean, if you go to London Card Show, for instance, or most of the card shows in the UK, and you see TCG cards, you'll see a lot of them will have different companies graded slabs on their showcases. Right, they'll have PSA, they'll have Ace, MGC, they'll have like some random ones you've not heard of because they would, they will do that sort of thing. They don't have that, I don't say dedication, but that PSA 10 doesn't mean as much to TCG than it does to sports. That might be controversial, I don't know, but it's just how it seems. Like if you go across sports, and there's more often than not, it's going to be a PSA. If it's an older card, which very rarely get in the UK as much, mainly if you get a few more in Europe, it might be Beckett, because obviously Beckett was the Don back in the day, so you Jordan, Jacoby, etc. And I've seen him before that. Yeah, it seems to be them sort of. So you maybe get the odd, couple that someone's like, oh, I know Tag had a offer on. I thought I'd try it, and SGC it looked really nice with the tuxedo and a sticker, for instance, or that sort of stuff. Well, more often than not, it's going to be PSA on sports, and then so TCG will have a wide variety of cards graded from different companies. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see how that impacts TCG at Pokemon, how it impacts the TCG community going forward. Um, so yeah, let me know your thoughts. Does this put a bit less faith in PSA? Like the whole, you buy a card, you send to us, we'll grade it, we'll quote unquote sell it for you as well. Do you now feel a little bit less like you can trust them? I've wondered this sometimes, well, like when I've seen cards up for offer, like if you go on eBay, you can see, search PSA Vault and then the cards on there that are vaulted for sale. I have wondered sometimes, like, would you know, because you don't know the seller, right? It doesn't say card vaulted by Tom Brady, card vaulted by, Michael Johnson. I don't know why he came to my head then, but yeah, it's a fast 400 meter runner, if I remember correctly. But anyway, digressing. So you don't know whose card that is, right? So I wonder if they were, that's PSA's way of getting like extra money. And I always thought this might happen. This whole, oh, it's going to grade it an 8. We'll buy it back off you for $30. So you sort of, do you want to cover my grading? I'll do that. Then they go and, I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't even recrack it. They'd probably just not even subbed it. Probably just put it in in a CGI slab for you to go, oh yeah, you're right. It's only an 8. Meanwhile, it's a 10. They go and sell it, and it's what 5x what that 8 was worth. Yeah. So all well and good, you got your free grading money back. They just got them rated 400 quid profit. But yeah, it's again, I think PSN needs to do some changes. The turnaround times are ridiculous. A lot more transparency in what they're doing. and they need to knock off this price increase. Like every time your card comes back at certain prices, could be no. Now it's a PSS 10. It's 10. It's worth. We think it's worth 4 grand. So there's an upcharge. Like that needs to go. That needs to go. It's got to. It's got to go, blood. It's got to go. That's got to go. Um. Yeah. Crazy. 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 The thing let's talk about really is the end of the year. There will be another pod or two, I think, before the end. Let me double check my calendar. I want to overpromise here. 22nd and 29th. Yeah, I can get 2 out by then for sure. Yes. So there'll be 2 more pods for the end of the year. So maybe I won't do like a full on wrap scenario. Shout out to Rainy Cards. I know he's a listener of the pod for his little MCC, like hobby related raps. It was kind of cool. See what everyone's favorite song was. That was nicely done. But yeah, I'll do something similar. I won't do something similar. That's a lie. I'll do like a rap scenario, sort of like I just got my month from Monzo, and that was quite interesting. Like the top 1% for eBay. So yeah, that was it was an interesting one. Again, hopefully, it's kind of mad to think about 2 weeks. So 2 weeks time as well. I got everything sorted for the whole Pack Rip channel being sorted with collection and stuff like this, and Elite Card Investor be sorted and running. So yeah, we're getting there. We're getting there. A few little bits to do, I think, just to double check, I suppose, and we're good to go. But yeah, we'll just talk about what's there. Maybe show some cards in the collection, get a little preview here before you go on the Instagram for your man. And then yeah, talk about. I can't do like favorite show of the day because I only attended a couple this year. Back in the swing of things, and next year, I suppose the other years out. There is one this weekend in Lee. It's like Northwest. If you're local, so yeah, it's hosted by the Northwest Card Show host Sean Webb. He has been on the pod before. So yeah, if you want a show to go for Christmas, you want to get a last minute present, maybe that is the place to go and pick up someone's Christmas gift. Make someone's year, get their Christmas gift from there. Yeah, I think it's on the 20th of December. Real close to Christmas. But yeah, there'll be a few more pods. That's what else I was going to say then, but I completely lost my mind. I think I was going to go down the whole show somewhere. But yeah, God knows. God knows. It'll come to me. It always does. I always think of this afterwards. After the fact, more stuff comes to me. And I go, that's what I was going to talk about on the pod. Some stuff I write down. My trusty assistant to my left here, my phone. And then some stuff, it just comes to me. And I'm like, yeah. I'll talk about that. Just forget. Mustn't be that important. But yeah, there'll be a couple more pods for the end of the year. Let me know your like not so much your rap, but let me know like it'd be cool to sort of like bring up on here, see if anyone else said similar. But your favorite card you picked up this year. If you invest in biggest profit you made, biggest loss you took, one card you got sold maybe that you regret. Favorite card show you went to this year. Anything else that's a bit of a highlight or even a low light? What's a bit of a low light? What's a lesson? Like I said, you win or you learn in this hobby, So what's that one lesson you had this year? Yeah, now help me bring up some more stuff on next week's episode or week after episode 1 or 2. One of the two. But yeah, it's always nice to have a bit of Christmas listening to or watching if you're watching this, and New Year's. So yeah, I'll definitely do one for you guys. Again, it won't be last, but it'll be the last 2 potentially. I might do an elite card investor pod. Again, it'll be totally different from this. It will be strictly sort of looking at prospects, investment opportunities, cards to buy, grade, sell, etc., etc. Strictly card stuff. No card news, no chit chat, no. There will be people on, but very rarely, I think. Maybe in time there might be like a proper co-host who will be proper part of the whole setup, but we'll see. But yeah, for now, it'll just be a card show. Will be hopefully more guests. I don't know, there'll be a lot less guests this year, but I feel like it's like heavier with guests at the beginning of the year, like ended back in last year and beginning of this year than it has been towards the back end. So yeah, let's just guests on. Let's talk again. Yeah, let's try and enjoy the hobby, even with the big corporations trying to really grind us down and ruin it for us all. But yeah, well, hope you are well. I will speak to you before Christmas, season 15th, hopefully. So yeah, take care and see you guys soon.